is what I use for my launch strategy. And this is like something that I'm sure everybody talks about it, but it's something interesting. So, biggest mistake I ever made in my life, starting a watch brand, a fashion item, right? Did not have experience in how much photography and content you actually need to generate to be able to launch a watch brand, right? It took me just a month. So we did a photo shoot here in Vancouver, cost me about like $2,000, and we had these models and we did all these, these hipster pics or whatever, and it was like, oh my, it's, and my money is running out fast at this time, and you're like, holy hell, what the hell do I do? But here's my little hack for you guys. Bali is the capital, it's the Instagrammer's paradise. So I flew to Bali, and I found all these up-and-comer micro-influencers there, and I said, I'll give you $500 a month. And I told this guy, I said, here's $500, and I'll give you here's some watches. I said, go around and just take pictures of this any way you can. And this guy also, like, he's living he's got the digital nomad life dream and everything else. So he's in Portugal, or he's in Brazil, or he's traveling in USA, or like all these different places, and he just gets these people together and he just takes pictures. And I'm paying him $550 a month. So because he has collaboration with other brands, so that's what he does. And that actually generates, I think we've done like about 8 or 9 photo shoots, which is about like 300 to 500 pictures. So that's a fraction of the cost I'm paying for a local shoot in Vancouver, by the way. So, sorry.
Hey, I'd love to elaborate on the influencer strategy. I don't know if you could dive into how you select who you work with, other than just them being involved. Is there a...
Yeah, I can go through it. Yeah, that's coming up next. Yeah. What? No, there's no secret to my wealth. I'm a poor man, dude. I make no money. For tax purposes. No. Excuse me? So, influencer strategy, right? So, this is an interesting one. So, this is a nut I'm still trying to crack. So, I'll be completely honest with you, right? There's a few platforms that you can use. So, there's influencer.io. That's a good one. There's a couple of guys that I use that I'm actually using right now. So when you think about large influence, so Instagram by default is going to ask you to advertise. So who's seen like the Instagram reach being throttled off? Like who's got a decent like Instagram following and you're seeing like your Instagram like reach and your organic reach being throttled? Has anybody seen that? Did anybody have a big Facebook page by any chance where your reach started getting throttled? Instagram is on it's the same thing. They're going to make you pay no matter what happens, right? So the idea is everybody keeps talking about micro-influencers, and now there's a new concept of even micro-influencers where you're targeting people between 1 to 5,000 followers. Micro-influencers being between 5 to 15,000, and then anybody over 15,000 is basically like this influencer, right? What I've used is this PR Volt. That's a platform I use. That's PR Volt. Volt, V-O-L-T, Volt, like electric. Yeah. So PR Volt is a good one. That's get me involved with like mommy bloggers and daddy bloggers and all those kind of people. So like people who are sitting at home and they're trying to like start their own business and they're like, okay, I have like 1,000 plus followers on my Facebook page or my Instagram strategy or whatever. It's a good way to have a grassroots movement going on in the background while you start. Then you start reaching the big guys. So the thing in Bali, what I did in Bali is something crazy, right? There's a place in Bali called Crate Cafe. And anybody who's a wannabe influencer who has between 2 to 10,000 followers is there every day trying to take pictures of the rice fields in the back, right? Or showing their like dropship lifestyle with their photo, with the laptop in front. So I literally sat there, set up a board, right? Said, this is, come work for Branzio, paying influencers today. And we had like 20 guys who just came to us and said, hey, how much are you charging? I'll work for product. And I said, okay. So we're working with like 20 to 25 to 30 people, and then they're on, when you start with them, it becomes a snowball. Because when these 20 to 30 people are posting, there's other people who are starting to take notice and they say, oh, wait a second, who are these guys? How can we get involved? We get messages. We just get messages. They're like, hey, we want to partner with your brand.
And what was the name of the cafe?
Crate Cafe. Crate Cafe. Crate. C-R-A-T-E. Crate.
Crate.
Like a crate of onions? Is that the right term?
Yeah.
Crate. Yeah. Yeah.
Are we secretly putting in like an offer to a travel voucher to Bali?
No, I'm not, man. I'm not. I'm serious. It's like, okay, so honestly, Bali is like this weird place, man. It's the only place in the world where I've seen, when you read a review about like how's the food at this place? And people like, the food is pretty Instagrammable. That's the only place in the world where I've seen the food is Instagrammable. Like, that's how people write the reviews there. Like, it's like this fake, weird place where everything is run via Instagram. I think that's where, like, it's just like this illusion that you have. But apparently it works. I know everybody like from Russia or from Europe and all these influencers, they're coming from the world over there because it costs to live is $1,000. So, you know, on Instagram, your life looks awesome, but they don't know it costs $1,000 to live in Bali. So, the third point is really important for me because I come from a PPC background, right? Find someone you trust. Who runs an ad agency here? Somebody over here. There you go, right? This guy looks trustworthy. But yeah, but find somebody you trust a lot to run your Facebook ads and your PPC campaigns. I have people who have botched it up so badly where my ROAS has dropped from like, so an average ROAS had like a return on ad spend that I would aim for is between 3 to 4. When I was doing movements ads, because there was no competition, they had a ROAS of about 12 to 14. So they were making some serious cash back then. but yeah, but it's like,
we all know what you mean when you say quick for what?
for every dollar, so ROAS is for every dollar that I put in, I'm expecting $4 in return.
Okay.
So yeah, so like I said, so every dollar that movement put in, they were making about $12 to $14 back, which is quite intense. Yeah, so I think, you know, going through the due diligence of finding the right agency or hiring the right person in-house is super, super, super important. You know, it's your money they'll be dealing with, and you know, e-commerce. I'll tell you what. Especially where I am, and I don't know how many e-commerce store owners there are, or, you know, FBA, or you guys can speak to it. But I'm seeing like I'm seeing stagnation, which is coming in. So there's a point at which we'll be profitable, but after that, it's just like returning. You know, the returns are negative, and we can't really thrive at that stagnant state. So we are trying things like, you know, YouTube influence outreach to expand, right? Or we're trying things on Pinterest shopping, which is crap, but you know, we got to try it. You have all these other things. Your remarketing on Twitter. You know, we tried Snap ads. They worked for us. There you go. There's a gold mine that we thought we never had, but we have it all of a sudden. So always be testing out new. You know, one thing that I found out that actually worked for us, Quora ads. Has anybody used Quora ads here before? Yeah, Quora, Quora, Quora ads. They were, yeah. Quora ads work wonders. If you're in the B2B space, man, holy hell, you'll be so happy with Quora ads. Tell them, don't tell them I sent you. It's okay. I don't know anybody there. But yeah, Quora ads is great. So if you're running a B2B or lead gen sort of focused business, Quora ads works phenomenally well. Pinterest, kitchen appliances, you know, anything you're doing with cooking, phenomenal returns. I can't speak about Pinterest enough, but you have to find the right fit for the right platform, right? We tried watches on Pinterest, like I said. Didn't really work. We tried Reddit for watches. The amount of like the amount of grief I got from them was intense. So maybe not the right promotion place. Don't advertise your video game on there either. Yeah. So the couple of last things is like, be prepared to money. You know, short term, long term, every which way, because you're here to engage. You're here to discover. People are here to discover your brand. They're not gonna have a dream about, you know, Branzio watches one fine day from just looking at the Instagram. Like I said, our reach has been throttled organically by about 40%. Right, 40%. Another way that we looked at expanding was like SEO. Okay, so we can do image SEO, which is something Movement is really, really good at. But like, how many times have you actually Googled like, you know, sexy man watch? I don't know. I don't do it, but I like to type it in to see where we are, though, by the way. That's the only time I do it. But, sorry? Yeah, for sure. Like, it's like intent for shopping, be it Bing Shopping or Google Shopping, it's the lowest intent. Like, it's the highest intent and the lowest place down in the funnel. So people are going to look for your watch, but, you know, when they look for your watch, you know, men's watch black, or something else like that, they look at Movement, they look at Movado, they look at all the other brands before they'll actually click yours. So that's why I said your brand play is so important. And somebody, you know, if you're running dropshipping stores, maybe think about giving brand a fair chance, right? Because you need to be able to think, you know, for me personally, it was a big shift of thought process was brand first, right? Brand first is really difficult. Just to think about, you are here for the next 20 years, right? You're not here for the next 5 years. You're not here for the next year. You're here for the long run. When Anybody know Clearly Contacts? Clearly Contacts was a company here. They sold out. They sold for about $500 million or $300 million or whatever it did. So I knew the owner. The amount of money they got for the goodwill, which is the value of the brand for Clearly Contacts, was about $250 million. That's just no factory, nothing else. But because people knew Clearly Contacts and 1 in 5 Canadians bought from Clearly Contacts, the brand was so strong that the value of the brand was $250 million. So, you know, once you create a brand, and that's what, you know, that's a good valuation for 10 years, man. It's like, wouldn't you want that? So, and the way the markets are working today, right, is everything is discovery. Everything, you know, even your Google newsfeed is very like discovery enabled. It's like everything is, how are we going to go about the process of finding something new? Like anybody on TikTok? Anybody knows TikTok by any chance? TikTok. It's like what Vine would have been if it was still, if Facebook hadn't throttled it, right? So you have TikTok, which is like a 6-second. What do you probably know? Do they have TikTok? What's Xiaolong Shao? Is Xiaolong Shao is TikTok? Xiaolong Shao. I don't know how to say it in Chinese. It's basically like it's kind of like
Musically, right?
yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's something like that. Where it's like this intense channel for like women shopping. It's just like people just go and they have these short videos on there, and people are just Xiaolong Shu. There you go. Yeah. Where people are just like looking. Yeah, it's just like people are just playing these videos and they're showcasing these products. It's one of the fastest growing. It's the fastest growing platform I think in China right now. It's growing like 100 to 200% year over year, and all people are doing is just showcasing these product ads. It's like TV, you know, like late night TV channel, shopping over something, but instead now it's on your mobile phone. So the amount of people making mistakes of just ordering like low cost products and not giving a shit about them is like through the roof. Somebody read about that Amazon drunk shopping mistake?